Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. Now, those people that watch my channel may have noticed that I don't do how-to videos. I had a quick look a couple of days ago and there's something like 50 videos on how to repot your Phalaenopsis. I think there's enough. I don't do how-tos. Others do them very well. I'm not sure I would. I'm just too sarcastic. Anyway, this is a sad sight. My Nestor is going over and it's a shame, but that's how orchids go. We have to live with these things. Now I've had my blooms, I've had my fragrance. It's now important to think about the plant, and the plant has to work hard now to get to next year to be like this again. So this is where I have to step in and do a bit of work. So all of these blooms are now going to get snipped off. I've got one large already flowered cane. Yeah, it's a good one. I now have this, which will actually be classed as a previously flowered cane. It's still got a few leaves on. That's good. It can photosynthesize. That will put energy into the plant. This weak little cane here, which was probably its first one ever, has got something lurking. Oh, now the foggers have kicked in. Now I'm going to get all sweaty. Anyway, it's got something lurking. It's probably a kiki. I'll let it go. I don't know what it is. I'm not that fussed. The medium that this plant is actually in is very, very chunky bark. I don't think that bark is decaying in any shape or form, so this year the plant gets to stay where it is. I bought it in this strange hanging contraption that has no drainage holes whatsoever, and inside of that is a standard sort of flower pot with drainage holes. But my new growth is coming on. That is now my priority. Blow the flowers, they've gone. They've had their day, they've done their job. This is now my priority. So this funny little hanging thing's going to have to go. It's done its job. It allowed me to see the flowers up at head height. So that can go. That gets me down to the flower pot. I'll have to work out somewhere for it to be. It'll probably still have to hang, but it's not staying in there because it collects water. And although this plant now needs a lot of water, this may get watered at least every other day, and on a warm day like today it may get watered every day, and it will be fed every single time I water. And this cane has got to get from here, this long, to that long in what's left of the growing season. That's hard work for a plant, so it's going to need some help. That help is food and water. That's my bit, that's my job. And I'm determined to get that cane to push down to the same sort of size and length as the canes that are already there. Somebody else did that work for me. Thank you very much. I paid you money. That's why I've got the plant now. Now it's my turn. I've got to do the job. And I've got to work hard. There's no good neglecting these types of Dendrobiums. They get a relatively short growing season. That's a lot of growth to put on. It's got to go from 6 inches to 18 inches plus in what's left of the growing season, which, as we all know if you live in the UK, is relatively short compared with where these things come from. If you're out in the tropics and semi-tropics to a degree, you've got a day length of between 11 and 13 hours. It doesn't change much. It stays like that. The seasons are almost non-existent. You get wet seasons and dry seasons, but you don't get the equivalent of the UK's winter and summer. We're heading up to nearly 15 hours of daylight in the UK. That's quite a lot longer than the tropics ever gets. You know, 13, we're up to 15. We'll get to 16 and a half before our time starts to change and our days get shorter. So that's a hell of a long day length. I'm going to take full advantage of that. This plant's going to get pushed hard along with its brothers and sisters around the grow room. This is the time to hit your deciduous Dendrobiums hard. Feed them, water them well. I believe if you stood them in a bucket of water you wouldn't overwater them. They will absorb it, they will use it, and they will grow. So let's all do our best with our deciduous or semi-deciduous Dendrobiums and give them a good kick. If you live this far away from the equator, then you've got to take every advantage of the day length you've got. And when you get a bright sunny day like this, let's water, let's feed, let's get these plants going. Okay, thanks for dropping by.